starts January 10th, 2016.
We are back for Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC on Sports Talk 1080 The Team. I'm your host, Danny Thompson, checking you tonight with my main man, Paul Myers and Marc Johnson of NBAFCPradio.com. Also, check in with us tonight. 407-482-3776 is the number to dial in toll free to talk everything NBA. Also, you can check us out on TuneIn FM as well as www.sportstalkflorida.com, and also on live stream where you can see me and Paul right now just by searching the words Tuck and O'Neal, and you can see us in studio.
So basically, you have no excuse not to see us or hear us.
Basically, there's no possible way for you to miss us on the show tonight. And also on the line right now, he is the editor of Orlando Pinstripe Post, and we're talking everything Magic for the next 10 to 12 minutes. Here is our good friend Zach Oliver. Zach, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Good that I have the right number to call in on finally.
Blame Danny for that, man.
Hey, yeah. I'm still learning the phone number here. Give me guys the credit of this one.
Apparently, Danny wanted me to call it Denny. So.
Yeah, that's Danny for you.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of calling in tonight, there's been basically a big story, Zach, that's been breaking through. ESPN Tim McMahon reported today that the Orlando Magic could potentially be the ones to chase Chandler Parsons away from the Dallas Mavericks. And it's been pretty much one of the hotter topics in the city of Orlando. You're connected with the team and a lot of things going on. When you saw that, what were your thoughts, and what are the chance or likelihood of the Magic pulling off something like Chandler Parsons coming home?
When I first saw it, I would say that I wasn't really surprised, obviously, with the potential to have upwards of $45 million in cap space. They're most likely going to be linked to everybody, their brother, their sister, and their dog, free agency. So it doesn't really surprise me that there was a link there. As for chance, I mean, it really comes down to what Chandler Parsons wants. Does he want to be able to win right away, or is he willing to wait a year, maybe two, before he's really up there? Now, obviously, I think the fact he would be coming home would be appealing to him, and the fact that he's a very good recruiter. You know, he got Dwight Howard to sign with the Rockets. It appeared he had DeAndre Jordan ready to sign with the Mavs last summer. You know, maybe he can talk somebody like an Al Horford into coming to Orlando also. If you put a gun to my head right now, I would say probably like a 46% chance he comes to Orlando.
Okay.
I still think that's
pretty high.
I still think that he would, be better off picking, even a situation like Boston would be better than Orlando. So he'll have his options, that's for sure.
All right. Well, there's a guy that I got on a little bit about the dunk contest, but I've always loved his potential, and that's Aaron Gordon. Let's talk about the play of him real quick, because he's been playing really well the last 5 to 10 games.
Yeah, Aaron's been the team's best player since probably the midpoint of January. Well, once he got inserted into the starting lineup, he started, tearing it up out there. The game's really starting to slow down for him, and it's showing. He's scoring the ball in a variety of ways, and he's defending at such a high level. Coming out of the All-Star break, the Magic hosted the Mavs, and that game, I believe Aaron held Dirk to 1 of 9 shooting.
That's impressive.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Let's be real here.
Let me ask you a question.
Aaron's
the Magic,
really
this past week, what are your thoughts on, them playing this past week and how they did, and, just what you see out there from them?
Over the last week with Magic, there's issues. They're still not playing any defense, and, their offense is only going to be able to do so much for them. So, if they can figure out how to defend at even a semi-high level, okay, I shouldn't even say semi-high level. If they could figure out how to defend, period, then they could win some games, because that's the only way that they're going to get into the playoffs. Because I don't see any of the teams that they're fighting with right now really dropping back to them.
Interesting. Speaking of guys dropping, or players dropping, the Magic acquired Brandon Jennings a week ago from from Milwaukee, and it's
Detroit.
I mean, jeez, Milwaukee, because the Scott Skiles connection in Milwaukee. They picked up Brandon Jennings, and now Everett Payton has seemed to be the odd man left out. Now, Payton had a very good game, especially at the end of the game on Sunday. We have about maybe 20 games left in the season. Can Everett turn this thing around and be the point guard that actually closes out games for the Magic, or are we really going to see Brandon Jennings be that closer?
Well, Brandon Jennings closed one game, so let's simmer down there a little bit. And that was the first game out of the break against the Mavs that went to overtime. The big thing with Alfred is, can he pick his defense up? Because at the end of the day, the big thing with the Magic struggles defensively starts with him, because he's letting guards blow by him on multiple possessions. He can't get around a screen. And, his shortcomings offensively do end up hurting him some. But I think that the big thing, especially with Scott Skiles right now, is his struggles on defense, which is why we've seen him turn to C.J. Watson more lately, because Watson, even though he's not knocking down a shot, he's actually at least appearing to try defensively, and he actually gives them something on that end, which Alfred, does at points, but for the most part, he's just been really poor on that end, which is concerning, to say the least.
All right, so question here. They they made these moves to try and get into the playoffs, and right now they're a couple games back, and they're sitting in, I think, 11th right now. Do you think these moves are going to put them over the top? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
No.
I don't either.
I've been saying this since before the season started. This was never a playoff team. Even if they didn't make a move, they weren't going to make the playoffs, and I'm sticking to my guns there. They have a really tough schedule the rest of the way. They've, I believe they have 24 games left, including tonight in Dallas.
Right.
14 are on the road. Coming up after tonight, they have Chicago tomorrow night, which is probably a toss, because Chicago's playing in Miami tonight. They're a little bit banged up, but I'd probably give the edge to Chicago there. They play Phoenix, which should be a winnable game, but as we know, Phoenix could, play really well and beat them. I believe Phoenix just beat the Hornets the other night, didn't they, Danny?
Yeah.
You okay?
All right. So with that said, Zach, do you think that the moves they made are now bad moves, because that's what they did? I mean, they brought these guys in to make this a playoff team. So now, does that hinder these moves irrelevant, or were they pointless moves?
I've kind of been saying this since the deals were made. You need to wait and see what the Magic are able to do with their cap space in the offseason. I mean, that's what.
So it's a wait and see.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Ask me in the third or fourth week of July, when pretty much every free agent has signed.
Right.
Then we can come back and talk about, well, did the Magic actually do well? If they, hypothetically speaking, if they go out and sign Chandler Parsons and Al Horford,
right. So
then I'm going to say, yeah, they did well.
Right. Now, but the intention was to bring in these guys to help the team short term, correct?
In a sense, they thought that would happen, but
okay.
Brandon Jennings just is not very good at this point. I mean, he's coming back from Achilles injury, which I understand, but he's just fallen off a cliff. Ersan Ilyasova's played okay. He's not great defensively. He knocks down a shot from time to time, but other than that, they're not making the impact that I think that Scott Skiles and Rob Hennigan were hoping that they would.
Gotcha.
Zach, last question before we let you out of here and give all your information. Here's a question for you. They have Chicago tomorrow night on the end of a back-to-back. Chicago, I think, is playing tonight as well, too. You got Phoenix on Friday before you go on the West Coast road trip. I've told Magic fans that this is their best chance to win 4 in a row before they head over to the West Coast. Do you still think they can still pull off tomorrow night and also win on Friday against Phoenix?
No, I don't expect them to win tonight. I don't expect them to win tomorrow night. I think they win on Friday night against Phoenix. But, they could win 4 in a row coming off that road trip. They've got Golden State on Monday night, which could get ugly.
Okay.
Then they've got the Lakers, which is winnable. Sacramento's a mess, so that's winnable. Portland's playing extremely well, so that's a toss game probably. And then they get Denver at home coming off that road trip. So there's 4 games that they could win there. Do they win 4 going into the trip? I don't think so.
Zach, real quick, you got about 15 seconds. Tell everybody how to get in contact with you on social media and what you got coming up on OPP.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at ZachOliverNBA. We'll be doing a little bit more on the Chandler Parsons news and, of course, game coverage. And one of my good writers is writing a long Rob Hennigan expose on his time here in Orlando, so you'll want to read that.
Guys, check out Zach Oliver every single week on our show, especially on the website. Zach, check in with you next Tuesday. Thanks for your help.
Thank you for having me, guys.
When we come back from break, we'll talk more about the NBA. 407-482-3776. This is Full Court Press Radio, sponsored by SOFOELC. All the sports talk today, the team. We'll see you back at the bottom of the hour.
Kemba Walker, 19 points, 6 assists, also 4 rebounds. Later tonight, it's the Warriors, it's the Hawks, Steph Curry and Andre Iguodala, both considered questionable for the game. The Warriors are 24-0 on the season at home. Aroldis Chapman found out today that he has been suspended for the first 30 games of the MLB season for violating the domestic violence policy. He will not appeal. As for the NFL franchise tags, Von Miller, Josh Norman, Kirk Cousins, Eric Berry, Cordy Glenn, and Trumaine Johnson are your headliners. For the rest of your scores, as always, go to NBCSportsRadio.com. I'm Keith Irizarry, and this is NBC Sports Radio.
Hey, Bob, how's business? Is the new website helping?
Not good. I can't figure out how to get the website finished. How did you do it?
Easy. I called Web.com. They built my website for free. Then they promoted it on all the search engines.
Like Google, Yahoo, and Bing?
Exactly. And Web.com has helped grow my business so much, I had to bring on new staff.
Hey, if Web.com did it for you, they're perfect for me.
Call now, 1-800-535-8815. That's 1-800-535-8815. Again, 1-800-535-8815.
Spend $24 right now at Napa, and you can get a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. Buy $24 of oil, get a free cap. Buy $24 of headlamps, get a free cap. Buy $24 worth of Pine Tree scented air fresheners. Well, we won't ask you why you need $24 worth of air fresheners. We'll just hand you a free Napa Chase Elliott racing cap. That's Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/16.
We're all born with the blues, whether we want to admit it or not. Though you'll truly experience the blues from a different yet very unique perspective when you visit Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. At Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues, you'll experience some amazing sounds from aspiring, talented musicians in the blues genre. Be sure to download Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Android app from Google Play Store and get wired to the Rattled Beach Show on Friday nights. Blues on. YippieKiABlues.com.
Are you looking for a fun place to eat great seafood and watch live sports? Cajun Hotspot Seafood and Sports Bar offers boiled crawfish, live lobster, shrimp, crab legs, clams, mussels, oysters, and live blue crab in a house specialty sauce, po' boy sandwiches, and more. You can eat all of that, enjoy one of our specialty drinks from our full bar, and watch the game on one of our 16 TVs. Cajun Hotspot Seafood and Sports Bar, 7365 West Colonial Drive, on the corner of Colonial and Dorcher Road. Call 407-757-2165 and tell them Full Court Press sent you.
Welcome to LateNightParents.com. I'm your host, Ted Hicks. We have a weekly podcast where we sit down and talk with game changers in the sports, technology, education field, and we even do product reviews and giveaway. Why, you ask? Because we're all parents. So if you're ready for an up-close and personal look, then check out our podcast. New episodes are available every Thursday. That's LateNightParents.com.
How I'm supposed to love you if you cannot love yourself? Yeah, I know you independent, but you still gon' need some help. I still got love for the ones I lost. I never got a chance to return that call. I've been out of town, I left that summer in the same damn car. I ain't made it that far. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Marcellus Javon. Head to